Johannes Kepler once said, "The treasures hidden in the heavens are so rich that the human mind shall never be lacking in fresh nourishment. When ships to sail the void between the stars have been built, there will step forth men to sail these ships." I also have a great interest in space, much like Johannes Kepler. I love space. I'm like the one nerd who actually watches the documentaries about space. And the one thing I love about space research is the efforts being made to colonize other planets such as Mars. Now, we live here on Earth. Earth is perfect. Earth does really well at sustaining life. The only problem is that we've been polluting Earth ever since humans got here. We've been polluting it with trash, overpopulation, pollution, all sorts of bad things that are destroying our planet. Many scientists have believed for decades that the only real way to help out Earth would be to start spreading out and colonizing other planets, such as Mars. Mars is the fourth planet from the Sun, and it's a rocky planet, and it has many qualities that can help it be sustainable to life one day. One thing is that on Mars, there are polar ice caps, meaning at the north and south poles, there's a bunch of ice. That means that we can melt that ice into water, and we'd have sustainable water there on Mars. So that's really great. There's also satellites that have flown over Mars that have discovered that there is vast stores of water underneath Mars's surface. That's all frozen right now. We just have to melt it, and then we have water. The other thing is that Mars has an atmosphere, much like Earth. So the only problem is that it's almost entirely made of carbon dioxide, and we as humans we can't breathe carbon dioxide, sadly. So what do? Well, there's actually a clear and simple answer. There's an organism that lives all around us here on Earth that actually breathes carbon dioxide. And this organism is plants. Now, in order to explain this, I'm going to have to take you back to biology class for a little bit. I know you're going to hate that, but I have to in order to illustrate this point. So in biology, we learned about a term called photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process that plants use to grow. What happens is that plants, what they'll do is they'll drink in some H2O, some water. They'll breathe in, yes, you heard me, plants breathe, they do. They breathe in carbon dioxide, and they also take in some light energy from the sun. What they do with those three things, they make two things. They make glucose. Glucose is what they use to grow and to make flowers and petals and stems and whatnot. And they also breathe out oxygen gas, and that's what we need to breathe. So if we can bring plants to Mars, these plants will breathe in the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, and they will exhale oxygen. They'll put oxygen in the atmosphere until eventually we as humans will be able to breathe on Mars with all the oxygen that would be in the atmosphere at that point. Here's a rendering of what Mars should look like by the time we melt those polar ice caps and by the time we get a thicker atmosphere there. Now, there is one company that is at the head of colonizing Mars, and it's called SpaceX. SpaceX was founded by a man by the name of Elon Musk. You may have heard of his name before. He owns a lot of companies and has founded a lot of companies. The most notable being PayPal, which is the online money transfer service, and Tesla, which Tesla manufactures completely electric cars. So Elon Musk, he, according to Forbes magazine, has a net worth of over $37.6 billion. So he really knows what he's doing. Now, SpaceX has always had a focus on creating rockets that would be two things. One, that would be fuel efficient, and two, that would be reusable. Now, SpaceX has done something that no other company has ever done before with their rockets, and that is that they've made their rockets 100% reusable, and that is completely mind-baffling. It's never been done before. But to explain it, I'm going to use this pen. Now, this pen is like the rocket, and here we've got Earth's surface. Normally what happens is that these rockets, they go out in space, and they have certain separation stages where the rocket comes apart so it's lighter, and whatever the space capsule, the small part where the humans are, can go and do its business. And normally this other part of the rocket normally falls back down to Earth and burns up in the atmosphere or is lost in the oceans, or sometimes it even stays out in space. It's space junk. Now, what SpaceX has done is that with their rockets, when they send them out into space, what happens is that when they separate and the little capsule goes and does what it wants, the rest of the rocket flies itself back down to the surface and lands end up like so, ever so gently. There's YouTube videos of it all over the place, and it's incredible to watch. Just these huge rockets coming down, just landing so perfectly on their ends like that, and they can reuse those rockets. And SpaceX has been getting a lot of practice with that ever since they partnered up with NASA. Over the past decade, NASA and SpaceX have been working together to get more satellites and supplies up into space. Every time NASA needs to get something out into space, they hire SpaceX, and SpaceX gets to practice using the rockets. And they've been doing this all in development of their biggest and baddest rocket that they've ever made, called the ITS. Here we have a picture of it. The ITS is on the left there, and on the right is a rocket. That's the Saturn V. That was a rocket that took man to the moon. Now the ITS is slightly bigger, but it is twice as powerful. This rocket, the ITS, is 30 feet in width and it's 383 feet long. That little smudge on the bottom left, that's a human. So that's a size comparison of how big this thing is. And it has twice the thrust capacity of the Saturn V, which you might not know what that means, but basically, if you were to have a Boeing 777 duct taped to this rocket here, this rocket could take that Boeing 777 airliner out into space. That's incredible. That means that this rocket can make it to Mars. As of last year, SpaceX has been making the prototypes for this rocket, and so it's very soon to come. Elon Musk has said that we could be seeing manned missions to Mars as soon as the year 2026. Now, even though Mars is 140 million miles away, it has never been closer. With increasing advancements in space technology, humans may be a multiplanetary species much sooner than we think. Maybe through these efforts we can also save our dying planet Earth. When Johannes Kepler suggested the idea of interstellar space travel, I am willing to bet that he didn't think it would happen only 400 years after his death, only a matter of years into our future, as we begin to bridle space, our last frontier. Thank you.